Hey everybody, how are y'all doing tonight? Just playing around a little bit, just seeing where I can go. I won't be on long. Um, I just wanted to come in and play for a little while and show you what I'm working on. Let me get you adjusted so you can see what I'm working on. I am playing with um, making some specimen cards. Okay, and this is my very first one. When you know it, I can't refill my glue because I can't get the top off of it. Let's see, I'm going to get you back this way some, I guess. My camera doesn't want to stay in position. You definitely don't want to go that far out. Then you have to see my messy room. Okay, so what I did is I took cards and I cut the center of them out. I used this die because I wanted to see what it would look like with a jagged edge instead of a straight edge. Right here. And I just used that die. And now I'm putting this down, as well as this one right here, down on a piece of ice tape. Okay. And I'm using this because I haven't tried it before. And the lady I saw do this, May, she used double-sided tape, but my double-sided tape is too wide for the cutout that this die makes. And this is my smallest die. So I'm using art glitter glue, and we're going to see how this works. I hope it works well. I really do, because I really loved her work on these. Okay. Now this one should be pretty well dry, so I'm going to take my scissors and whack it out. And cut this larger piece of acetate out. Let me move this stuff around. I've been playing with the Zentangles today too. I like Zentangles. They relax me. So. I'm going to trim this up a little. And since this one's been sitting here for a few minutes, I figure I can go ahead and trim it out. Of course, on these, you have to decide which side you want up, the back or the front. And then you put because you're going to use two cards together to make these. And you're going to put your pieces on the inside. Okay, so this, I've decided the back of the cards are going to be the inside. So this one's not quite dry yet. I can see that. As you can see, the glue floating around in it. So I need to lay that one back down. And this one's pretty well dry, but you can still see a little bit of the glue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn it over. And I have a few things that I've already cut out. I got to make sure, and I'm not sure, I got little cigar boxes that I keep things in. I really need a way to label them. And so whatever you use, you're going to have two of them. Okay? So that you can put one facing one way, so it shows through, and the other facing the other way, so it will show through the other side. So whatever you use, you have to have two of them. Okay? But when you know it, this is not the box that I put my stuff in. Isn't that great? So, and they're going to have to pretty well match up perfectly, or they're not in, or it's not going to look right. I'm sorry about my squeaky chair. There's nothing I can do about that. Um, but then maybe a leaf from my first leaves will work. This teeny tiny little leaf that I'm going to put on here, and shine through right there. Like that. I don't think so. With all this mess in here, you'd think I could put my hands on something to put in these. Yes. There's my butterflies. I knew I had butterflies somewhere. I didn't put them in the box. I put them in a container. All right. Here's some butterflies. So that one's not going to work. It's going to be pretty on there. And then this one will match it. Y'all cannot see what I'm doing, can you? This one I'll match up to it so that they will show up on both sides. And it'll go just like that. Now I'll match the cards up, and they're going to show through both sides. See that? Right now, let me see what I need to do. I'm going to take and figure this out. So I'm going to figure out what size I want this to be. And these would make really pretty ATC cards. And I'm thinking about sending a couple of them out to people. I don't think I want anything quite as big as that. And I just took this piece and I folded it in half right here. And I folded it in half to remind me to whatever I put on this side, I need also on this one. So, for instance, I may put, I don't like that pen for this. I like my bold pen. I've got these big bold crystals. This is a regular bit and this is a bold. And you can see the difference in the color. The bold is a dark color or a smoky gray kind of color. But I really like the big bold for this. And say number or hashtag 16. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Hashtag 16. Okay. And then I will take this and my glue. And I hope it works because I think these are so pretty. I didn't add anything special to this because of the fact that I figure that this first one's going to be mine anyway, just to show how I do it. And this is going to just be the one that I decide, hey, this is the one I'm keeping. Just Of course, you know I've got to trim all this up, but I'm going to wait till all that dries pretty well before I do. And I didn't glue anything down. Maybe I should have. I'm not sure I should have. But I did not glue anything down, as you can see. And that's it. That's how I do it. All right, then after this dries a little bit, I'm going to actually take and I'm going to make a hole right here, and I'm going to put in an eyelet. Is that what you call them, an eyelet? Anyway, I have to hold this up to where I can see it. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can't see what I'm doing, but I have to hold it up to see. And all I'm doing is just trimming it. I'm having to trim it and everything, and I just, so much fun, right? And there's that one. Of course, I do have all these little trimmings that I took out of the center of them. And I have several little butterflies, like this one here is from a painting paper that I did. And this one here is from a coffee dyed paper. I also have these, which, these are supposed to be 3D because there's 3 parts to this flower. So let me put this together right quick. Okay, there's part 1, part 2, and part 3 of these flowers. Okay, so I'm going to put this here right around this little ring here, because if I put it on the other one, it'll end up, not doing so well on it. And I'll miss it, and it'll probably end up in the hole. So I just put it just like that. And then I do the same thing with the other one. So just put it right around this little ring here. Okay. And that's how I put that little flower together. And then I may put a little bling in the center of it. Depends on what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to put it in something like this, I might put a little flat back pearl or something in it. See if I can locate my bling box and see if I got anything flat enough to put in it. All right. My bling box always runs away from me. I don't know why. Got a little bling in here. I doubt it. If I do the bling in here, it ain't gonna work, is it? Anyway, that's the one little flower. Okay. All right. Then I have a sunflower. This is my sunflower. Let me move my butterflies out of the way. All right. Here's the center of my sunflower. It goes in the center of it. So what I will do is I will take this one and I'll glue that. And this poor little sunflower has about 5 parts to it, okay? But I'm not sure I've got all the parts cut for it. Yes, here's a leaf that goes to it. And the single leaf that goes with it. It's got a single leaf and Now let's see if I have the centerpiece that goes on it. Don't think I have a centerpiece that goes on my sunflower. But there's supposed to be another little circle that has little dotted holes in it. Then I flip this over and I just put a little dot of glue right there on that little stem. Right there on the little stem to put it on. And then I find a indentation to put it in. And then the same thing with this one. As I just put a little dot of glue right there. Ooh, did I put it on wrong? I did, didn't I? Oh, well, I guess I need to redo that one down. I got to remember that it's upside down, so I have to put the glue on upside down too. Right? So, and hey, whoever's out there watching, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Here we go. And there is my sunflower, except for the center ring. And I don't know what happened to my center rings. I guess I lost it. But it should be probably a darker brown ring. And it's got little holes all around the edge, and it fits right in the center of that one. Anyway. And there's a sunflower. There's one flower. This one here is supposed to stand up and be 3D. As you can see, I had to wait until the glue dried a little bit before I could do that. And you just take it and I wish I could get my camera to stay where I could just work out here. My camera keeps messing up on me. And I'm so sorry for that. One day, maybe I'll get a stand for it to keep it from doing that. Yeah. And this one becomes 3D. And there it is. All right. So I did the butterfly card. And what I will do next is I will get this out, big bite, and I'm going to put it to the smaller hole on it because I really don't want it to be a large hole. And you have to decide, is that the back or the front? I think I'm going to have this one for the front. Okay, then I'm going to take and put a hole right there in the corner. Okay, and then pull it off. I still need to trim it just a little more on this side. It's hard to see with that transparent film there, isn't it? Trim that a little more. There it is. And I have this little bulb pin that I'm going to put in it. Of course, I'm going to take this back out because I'm going to put an eyelet in, but my eyelets are in the other room, and I forgot to bring those in before I got started, and I don't want to have to get up and run to the other room and hunt for them and bring them in. But there is the specimen card, and this is for a little dangle. I can decide on what kind of little dangle I want to put on it. There's my sunflower die that I use, and there's my little 3D. I still think it looks more like a snowflake than a flower, but I guess depending on the colors that you use, that's it. And that's about all I was going to do today, because I know Beth is going to be on in a few minutes, and I don't want to take up any of her time. So I appreciate you coming, and have a wonderful day. Bye.